Okay, we are live. We are in the self-help bookshelf. And welcome. Hello again, Emma.
Hello, hi.
Oh, it's great to have you back. I think it's running okay. So, we are here today to do an interview for you. And wow, what a journey you've been on since September.
I have. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
A long, well, I say a long journey, but it's not been. It's been very short, really. It's been incredibly quick.
Yes, just very
From,
intense.
yeah, very intense. 20 days to write a first draft of a book.
Incredible.
From index creation to first draft was, yeah, 20 days. So just under 3 weeks. So,
Yay.
yeah, very, very, very fast and very intense. But
Send some of these up for you.
it's done. Look at this. I've got
On rocket
rockets and
fuel.
everything.
On rocket fuel. I remember it very well with mine. I'd spent 7 years formulating the thoughts and the processes and the strategies, but you get stuck with how to actually structure that into the book itself. And
Mm,
then once I had help with that myself, when I first did my first book, I was the same, 12 days, and I'd written the book. But then I didn't have any other commitments in lockdown. So
mm.
I literally sat here like 16 hours a day writing. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, 20 days even so, absolutely phenomenal. Well done, Emma.
thank you. Yeah, I think once I got the framework, like you say, I think that was the driving force because I'd got all the ideas, but they were very mismatched in my head,
Yeah,
and I wasn't quite sure how I was going to get them out or in what order they might come out. But I think as soon as we got that index done,
yeah,
that was my framework to then just go away, and I was able to write it into the sections
yes,
to then think, right, this is not an overwhelming big task. I can do this chunk by chunk.
yeah.
Yeah, and that really helped. So yes, really good.
Brilliant. I thought I'd just check we're on gallery because I forgot, but we are. Yes, I just realised I haven't got the little green flashy lights coming up on screen, so I'm hoping this is all going through okay. It appears
Okay.
to be. So, yeah, I'm really I don't find Zoom as intuitive as other programs I've used, and I still always have my doubts about what I'm doing on it. But we're there. I think we're going live, and I think people can see us. So, no comments yet, but hopefully somebody will pop in and say hi soon. But
Okay.
anyway, no, it's amazing. So, although you're saying from the um index, obviously
Yeah.
we had to start with some other pieces first. So one of the things I like to talk to book authors about is about getting your essence into the book was the first thing. And you don't want to be writing a book from it's such a clinical point of view that it doesn't have the feel of the author about it.
Hmm.
So I know from working with both you and Rory, it was one of the first exercises we did was sit down and look at why you want to write that book and what was important about it to you. And we went through I think we basically had a 2 hour session on that, didn't we, before we even...
We did. Yes, we did. Yeah, which I think was really, really good. Yeah,
Yeah,
to get that starting point.
yeah. And then we did the technical aspects about what you want from the book in technical terms and size and volume, and you were doing paperback, hardback, we did all of that stuff. And
Yeah.
then looked at things like keywords and phrases that you're going to use consistently and so on. So there's been quite a lot of effort went into it before you even started writing. So you didn't start writing right from the very first meeting. We had a lot
No.
of prep work to do first. So 20 days is kind of actually underestimating the effort that you have put in. And that's without the however many years of study and training and experiences and life lessons and practice you've put in.
Yeah.
So yeah, 20 days is literally the typing part, but the
Yeah.
rest of it is a much longer journey than that to come up with a book. But you have done it.
Yes, I have
Celebrate
done it.
all of it.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think with my book particularly, what I didn't want was a textbook.
Mm,
There are plenty of textbooks out there on therapy topics, and we don't really need more of those.
no.
But I felt there was a need for this book particularly because every client that I have in my room will come to me with very limiting beliefs about themselves and very, very harsh ways of talking about themselves.
Yeah,
And I hear it every day
yeah,
from everybody. There is nobody that doesn't do it. And it got me thinking, we need to have a book that specifically talks about why people do this and where it comes from. And I wanted to put a bit of me in there, like you said, just the essence, not the whole content of me, but just
Mm.
enough of me to say, I've experienced this, I understand this, I understand how it limited my life, I understand how it limited my potential. I understand how it could have led me down the wrong path. Luckily, it didn't, but it could easily have done if I'd stayed kind of enslaved to those narratives. But actually, by doing my training and my therapy and going on my own journey, I've not allowed that to happen, and I've now been able to break free of them. And
Yeah,
I wanted to show people how I did that and what techniques I can offer them so that they can do that.
yeah,
But yeah, not as a textbook, just as a look, I'm a human talking to you as
yeah.
another human.
And it is very inspirational, and it's amazing because as well as mentoring Emma to write the book, I also do a lot of admin skills, or I have a lot of admin skills from years of my working in offices. And so Emma's drafted me in to do the formatting. So at the crack of dawn this morning, I was here on my computer and I started formatting Emma's book for her. And we're just over 50 pages in already. It's absolutely flown through today. And just what I've glanced through and read so far is absolutely incredible. And it's this really amazing blend between, like you say, personal development strategies, but at the moment, obviously being in the early part of the book, it's all that setup of thought and awareness and recognizing that some of these things, it may not even be abuse. A lot of it might even just be the way parents have talked because it's the way that's happened for generations. And one of the topics we just talked briefly on just before coming on was stoicism. But Emma's used a slightly different term for it. But I've grown up with a very stoic family. And in our family, it's called the stubborn streak. And but even then, the narrative that comes out that even I've still been working on the last couple of months is phenomenal, how much you don't realize it's holding you back. And it is really crucial to address that. And your book absolutely does that. That yes, sometimes it can be a very abusive level, but other times it can be so subtle you don't even realize you're doing it. And
Yeah, I
it's
think that's
good
really
progress.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
progress.
it's a yeah. No, I think that's right, and I think like there's a sometimes it is just the way families are because we pass on what we know. So we pass on what we've learned from our own parents or those people who have brought us up, whatever environment that was.
Mm,
And so the book very much is not about blame. We're not saying, oh my God, your critical parent was a terrible thing. We're actually thanking it. When we get into the later part of the book, we're thanking it because actually the critical parent cares. I think that's the thing that people don't realize. It comes from a place of care, but it's caring in a way that's not healthy.
mm.
But that if you're not aware of that, and it's just the pattern that you've always known, then you wouldn't stop to think about the fact that it's not healthy. So yeah, it's really about how we've grown up and what we've experienced. And so, some people would say, "My God, I feel terrible if people say that I've been abusing my children."
Mm.
We're not blaming anyone. I think the point of the book is to say it's about a new perspective and it's about kind of raising awareness and actually if we can start from here to start making a difference, then that's the purpose of the book. It's
Yeah,
not about what's gone before, it's about where we are now and how we're going to move forward.
yeah. So in you're saying the purpose, and sorry, I'm trying to jump back 3 sentences now. I had it in my head and it's gone. Yeah, so when you're saying about the critical parent,
hmm
I think what you're saying is not our parents, but what we've picked up as our own inner voice and parenting ourselves. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I think so.
Inner
I think
voice, that was the one, inner voice.
yeah, I think a lot of it comes from a lot of different places. It doesn't just come from our parents. I mean, it may do. It can come from teachers. It can come from other children. It can come from feelings at school where you're picked last or left out, or all of those things can come and give you a narrative that you're not quite good enough in some way, or you're inadequate, or you failed, or there's something wrong with you. And then when what tends to happen then is if something else happens in life that's quite bad, you go back to that narrative. That's your default setting. Oh, well, that's happened because there's something wrong with me. Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's happened because I'm inadequate. And then it starts to layer itself up. And then the more layers we get, the more hard it is to break it. So that's kind of what the book talks about, is where it all comes from and how are we actually going to break it down.
Mm.
And because you can get free of it, it's perfectly possible to get free of it and actually live a life on your terms. But I think so many people are stuck and they don't stop to think about what they're saying. They just accept it as true. Like they come into my room and say, "Oh my God, I'm so stupid. Oh
Mm.
my God, I should have done that." And it's all very harsh and very critical. And they're just saying that off the bat. They don't even think about whether it's true or not.
No.
So, yeah.
No, I get that. And I must admit, I've been guilty of it myself a lot in the past. And no matter how much I've worked on it, I've still found areas to work on.
Yeah.
I really have. And I could have done with your book 30 years ago, Emma. I really could have done. And I really do hope that other people understand this concept. Like you say, this is not about blaming parents or teachers or anyone else. And sometimes part of that process is letting go of that blame and just saying, "Do you know what, it's done, it's gone. But what I need to do now is work on me, or for you to work on you." And it is about self-improvement. And I think that's the most important part about the whole point of the self-help book group as well. It's all about self-improvement and
Yeah.
about letting go of the blame, working on the now and making a better future. And I think that is about the best value I can ask for any author that joins this group, is to write anything along those lines where it helps us all be better human beings together.
Yeah.
Apart from
Yeah.
the driving past, the exhaust blowing off. Sorry, very loud car just went past. Oh dear. Yeah, but thank you ever so much, Emma. So we will keep it short and sweet today. As another sort of, this is what should have been your introductory video, but we've written your book before this one, and we've gotten back to front because you were so quick.
I was very quick. I was very quick. I think once I started, I couldn't stop until it was done.
Yeah,
And I just wanted it to be done and get it out because it's important to me. It's an important message for me personally to actually get it out. And yeah, it was therapeutic to write it. And I hope that it will be therapeutic for people to read it also.
I'm sure it will be. I'm confident it will be, having seen some of it today. Amazing. So thank you ever so much,
Thank
Emma.
you. Thank you very
Anybody
much.
else wants to do something similar and you've got an idea, been going round and round and round in your head, tell you, just get on a call with me. Come and book a call with me. Message, find my website, book in, and we'll have a conversation first. And if we feel this is right for you, I'm starting some workshops sometime in November. And I'm not something I'm going to be overly promoting. I'd like it to be word of mouth, because I'm only going to have maximum of 5 spaces on there, because I've got another program to run alongside it, but a maximum of 5 spaces. So if anybody else wants to start the next workshop sometime in November, that means we can get you writing by the time we hit December, so that if you get any downtime or breaks or spare time over the Christmas holidays, New Year's, any time around the winter, rather than being out on a weekend, you can sit and write. I want people writing their books over the winter rather than, when they can't be outdoors. Get them done so that by January, February, you're ready to do your publishing and your launch party by sort of February, March at the latest. It can be done because Emma's here from first joining a meeting with me in September. And we reckon by the end of this week and possibly next week, or by the time you accept and reject all the edits, I would say possibly by the end of next week, which is where we deadlined, middle of November,
Yeah.
we will be putting your book into the publishing process on Amazon,
Yeah.
ready to launch in
Incredible.
December.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Literally, Kay is the person to go to. Kay is the person. She'll get you sorted. I mean, I literally couldn't have done it without your index and your framework and your strategy that you gave us.
Thank you.
Because I would have been completely overwhelmed with the writing process because there was so much content in the book.
Yeah.
And I would have been completely lost. But yeah, I mean, it's perfectly possible. Perfectly possible.
With a little guidance and a lot of intent.
Yes,
I'll offer the
absolutely.
little bit of guidance. You just need to put in a lot of intent, like Emma has, and your book can be there certainly by the new year, sometime in the new year.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, thank you so much today, Emma. That's been absolutely amazing. Honestly, so well done. Absolutely. I'm so proud of you for what you have done the last 2 months.
Thank you very much.
Incredible. All right. Take care, everyone. Hugs and healing from me. See you all again soon for another interview. Wonder who's going to be next.